Hi Tubies, here's Alexandra. Well, last time I showed you a little update on my 3D gaming board, and today I want to show you how to paint your 3D gaming board. But first, let's talk about how I create it. So at first I use cork plates like this here. There's a little bit residue from the creation, but never mind that. And then I glue the cast pieces directly onto the cork in the shape that I need them to be. And then I use a simple sharp knife. Make sure this is really sharp, because if you're doing this with a dull blade, you may end up with ripping here the cork apart. This here happens with a dull blade, and well, this is now a brand new blade, and with that we can now make really smooth and nice cuts. So make sure that the underground you are cutting on is a cutting board or cutting mat, however you want to call it, and then simply make straight lines alongside your pieces, and that way you get nice clean edges, just like that. And make sure you don't cut yourself while doing this, and ta-da, we have the piece. So this T-piece here will now be primed. What color of primer you use is totally up to you. It depends on what kind of stonework you want to paint. So this cases here, I want to have them in a sandstone feel, so I would use maybe a skin tone or a brown tone or a yellow. So right now in front of me I have here from Army Painter a colored spray primer. This is just human flesh, and I think I will use that. So I'll be back when this is primed and dry and ready to go. Okie dokie, there we go, our piece is dry and ready to go. And now I would totally start with a wash, but to be honest, this will need a lot of wash, and so I decided to use some normal acrylic paint and just water it down. So I'm using here Flat Earth from Vallejo Model Color, and I'm just using here a size 6 brush. Down some of the brown, and I will add a little bit of Rhinoxide to it to darken it down. So about that, and then I will just add water, but not with a brush. I use a pipette for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops should be enough. That should be plenty enough. Okie doke. And with that, we will simply give the whole piece a nice wash and create nice dark brown shadow areas in all the recesses. So. And then after that, leave that to dry, and then we can start with the next step. I will finish that really quickly, let that dry, and be right back. Okie dokie tubies, this is how it looks after the self-made wash is dried, and now we will start to dry brush with some XV88 because we want to have it sandstone-like, so we go with a yellowish brown now. And we need a big, soft, flat brush. Just taking some on the palette. And at first we make a quite heavy overbrush over the entire thing. Okay, just like that. So, and in the next step we will start to highlight, and we use Avaland Sunset for that. Give that also a good shake. And then we will add that to the mix. And with it, we'll start to highlight the top areas. Just like that. Now we will use pure Avaland Sunset. Wiping the brush a little bit. That looks good. And now we start to make maybe some kind of shine onto the base, like through the ceiling or the cave wall. Some kind of light ray is coming through. So we will mix in a little bit of Flash Kids Yellow into the mix. So. And then we will assign, maybe here's the spot where the light hits, and from there out we make it like that, and just highlight this area. So now we use pure Flash Kids Yellow, and again from here out a little bit less. So now we mix in some, here it is, Screaming Skull. Make it brighter and brighter here in this middle area. Now even more Screaming Skull. And now the pure. Okay, and now we will even add a tiny little bit of white. So, and voila, you have now a light ray here in the middle of this sandstone road. Neat, isn't it? So, this needs to dry now, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, this is dry now, and the next step will be I will add a little bit of moss to this, and for that we use pigments. This is from Noch. I have reviewed a pigment set from noch some time ago. So we just dab a little bit of pigment onto our palette, and then we simply add a little bit of water to it. Just like that. And yeah, actually use it like a paint. And just grab some spots here and there where there might be moss. Here in this little cracks and crevices. Down there. Don't overdo it, just here and there. So I think that's plenty. So, and now we will use a little bit of just water, a little bit, just a wet brush, and we will fade this edges a little bit. If you have too much pigment then on the brush, just wipe it on a paper towel until you're satisfied with the result. We don't want to have this harsh edges like here, so just use some water and soften the edges. Easy like that. And you already see it is drying and leaving a nice greenish tone to it. So, so much for the painting part. Now what is left to do? We could add some grass here and there, maybe a little bit of grass tufts here and there inside these little cracks, to give it a more lively setting. Also you could add some skeleton bones if you have leftover bits, maybe some weapons rusted around, but don't overdo it. You really need to use that as a playing board. So if you have your miniatures tip over because you build up too high of a three-dimensional area, then it won't be playable anymore. So for example, also these cracks are perfect to fit in there some skeleton bones or a skull maybe here in this corner, or maybe a flat weapon lying here, or a shield or whatever. But for the normal playing purposes, this is enough. So what you also can do is obviously paint maybe all the edges of the cork in black, or whatever color you prefer for your whole board to be unified, and well, then you have your board. I will leave it like that in this video, and I hope you like this, and we see us in the next video. You're Alexandra.